Fiduciary duty, two simple words, yet oh so powerful. Many different types of professionals owe a fiduciary duty to someone, for example, lawyers to their clients, trustees to their beneficiaries, and corporate officers to their shareholders. Two critically important. The U.S. Supreme Court has determined that financial advisors registered under the Investment Advisors Act of 1940 Act are fiduciaries. The word fiduciary comes from the Latin word for trust. A fiduciary must act for the benefit of the person to whom he owes fiduciary duties, to the exclusion of any contrarian. Many financial services companies intentionally avoid registering their financial advisors under the Act for one simple reason: to avoid fiduciary duty. That is right, they do not want to be obligated by law to act in the best interest of clients. Let us go back to the example of the financial advisor who recommended the higher cost, higher commission mutual fund. If the financial advisor were registered under the Act, the financial advisor would be obligated to act in the best interest of the client, and would be obligated to recommend the lower cost solution. Interestingly, the financial advisor would be prohibited by law to accept a commission. That is right. A financial advisor registered under the Act is legally called an investment advisor representative (IAR) and must work for a company legally called a registered investment advisor (RIA). Neither an IAR nor an RIA is permitted from being compensated by commission. Rather, both can be only compensated by fees. Imagine lying on the operating room table as your neurological surgeon is evaluating which scalpel to use on your left frontal lobe of your brain for your procedure. Scalpel 1 is made by a company that pays him a higher commission than the company that made scalpel 2. Preposterous, not in the context of how many financial advisors operate. At the firms, IARs are obligated by law to act in the best interest of clients, and are compensated with fees just like a neurological surgeon. Many fee arrangements are tied to the value of assets being managed. This creates an equitable relationship with you and your IAR. If your assets increase in value, your fees increase. As your assets decrease in value, your fees decrease. It sounds fair because it is. So, how do less reputable firms get around this problem? They register as an RIA, yet are very careful to register the RIA business as ancillary to their overall business. If the RIA business is ancillary to their overall business, which may include investment banking, broker-dealer, merchant banking, and so forth, then they can mitigate their fiduciary duty. Which brings us to a simple solution to all these conflicts and qualifications. Like Mom used to say, get it in writing. If you want the investment firm you are dealing with to place your clients' interests above and beyond their interests, have them clearly accept fiduciary duty in writing on their company letterhead. Don't be surprised if your financial advisor says that's not necessary, or that's essentially what it says on page 1847 of the contract you signed, or our compliance department prohibits that. Protect yourself. Have the firm give you a simple letter signed by a principal of the company. In summary, the selection and utilization of a financial advisor is as important as the selection and utilization of a surgeon. You should understand their academic background, credentials, and experience. Unfortunately, your due diligence does not end there. As discussed in this chapter, you must understand whether your financial advisor will accept fiduciary duty in writing on company letterhead. Lastly, understand what conflicts of interest that acceptance may have if the financial advisor's employer is a public company obligated by law to place shareholders' interests above your own. Remember, it's your wealth, not their wealth.